Hey, everybody, welcome to another beautiful day. This is Ramon Ray with my friend Justin, who's going to talk to us in a bit. But I hope you're doing well this day. We're getting ready to go live. Well, we are live, but as the algorithms are getting people up and getting people together, the question we're going to answer today in the next few minutes is, are you a good leader? Are you a good leader? How to be a good leader? Should you be a leader? Should you not be a leader? How can you train leaders? We'll see where Justin of Improver Group wants to go. But good afternoon, everybody. We're live. It's a Friday. Getting ready to rain out here in New Jersey. But as everybody begins to come, I just wanted to say welcome. And Justin, how are you today? What's going on in your world? How are you?
What's up, man? We like to say good and getting better here. So that's what we are. It's good and it's still getting better at Improver Group.
Indeed. And
Yeah, man. We're doing all right. Down here in Texas, it has been hot as Hades this summer. We're ready for it to cool off. Man, you know what? It's cooling off next week, and I'm going to Florida where it's just as hot as it is now. So, like, the timing was not great. But, yeah, that's what's going on here, man. Excited to be with you.
I live in Texas. Is hot, man. I was just there. I've been there several times, and it's like, I mean, I thought the Northeast was hot, but man, like you're in an air conditioner room. You walk out to the heat, as you said, you're like, oh, I forgot. I'm in like the frying pan of America. It is hot.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff.
Welcome, Justin. It's 1 minute after the hour. Again, I like to start on time. We'll end on time to serve people. Are you a good leader? Justin, before we dive into the content, we're getting ready to celebrate the launch of the Improver Summit. Definitely want to hear about that. People can go to improvergroup.com/summit, I believe. We'll talk about what that is. But Justin, give us your full name, Improver Group. What is it? Who are you? Talk to us a bit about who you are as we dive into, again, welcome everybody as you're coming. I see you. Come on down the aisle. Sit down, get comfortable. Justin, take it away and introduce and tell us who you are.
Awesome, man. Yeah, Justin Winstead. I am the CEO and founder here at the Improver Group. And, the name Improver Group, what does that mean? We got that because we just want to make the world better. That's what we are. We are improvers. And, I come from a Christian faith background. And, we talk about being salt and light. And those are improver mechanisms. Light makes things more safer. It makes it more enjoyable. Salt makes things taste better. It preserves it. And that's what we're doing at the Improver Group. We're trying to give guidance to people. We're trying to make things just feel better and taste better and just be more enjoyable. And so that's what we do at the Improver Group. Now, what does that mean practically? It means that we walk alongside teams and leaders and we help them to realize their full potential. Our summit that we have upcoming, the theme is Unleash Greatness. And part of our belief system here is that every single person watching this live stream, whether now or later, every single person on our LinkedIn connections and Facebook friends and all this, we believe that each person has greatness within them and it just needs to be unleashed. And that's what we love to do at Improver Group, is unleash that greatness.
I love, let's dive more into that. Unleash that greatness. I mean, when you talk about this, what happens if we don't do this? That's question one. And question two, sometimes, Justin, you got to forgive me, I asked 47 questions in one breath. We'll try not to do that. But unleash your greatness. What happens when, let's start there. What happens when people don't do that? I'm a good guy. I don't steal. I'm managing a team. I'm okay. I come to work at 9. I leave at, 5:01. I'm thinking I'm pretty good. And if that's the wrong question, feel free to restate it, Justin. But talking from there, what I'm pretty great already.
Yeah, well, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear that kind of situation is not just cost, but opportunity cost. And, we love to think about potential here. And we say that you've got potential to make an impact on this world. So if you don't make that impact, if you keep that greatness bottled up and you don't share it with the world's worse off. And I don't even say that in like an exaggerated fashion. I don't necessarily mean like every single person on the world, but I mean somebody's world. I mean, there's somebody in your orbit that is worse off because you didn't walk into who you were called to be. And so that's what, when we say we want you to unleash the greatness, what we mean is you've got a positive word, you've got a skill set, you got some about your personality or about the way that you can help people that they need. They need what you can offer, and that's great. And when you do that and you're reaching your full potential, that is greatness unleashed. It's big, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it makes the world a better place.
That is powerful, Justin. And here we're celebrating the launch of the Improver Group Summit. The Improver Group Summit, Unleash Your Greatness. You have some amazing speakers. If you don't have them at the top of your head, I'll keep talking as you scramble on your web browser and pull up the website if you need to do that. But
No,
Justin,
I got them.
okay, good.
Yeah, well, you're one of them, Ramon. We're so
Thank
excited
you.
to have you out there. You're bringing the energy level up in the room there. So, yeah, you're going to be fire on the stage. It's going to be great. And then we've got Jeremy Kubicek that is coming in. Now we're talking about leadership on this live stream here. Well, this guy is like one of the superstars of the leadership development world. And you may go, well, I've never heard of him, and I know a lot about leadership. Well, let me ask you this. When you think of Chick-fil-A and their leadership, does that have a positive thing? Well, he was the guy behind LeaderCast and a lot of Chick-fil-A training. Guess what? John Maxwell, Jeremy Kubicek was the guy behind a lot of that launch into the stratosphere with his coaching program. And so Jeremy is just fantastic. We got Christy Wright coming in. Christy was on Dave Ramsey's team as one of his personalities. It was just Dave for a while. Then he brought Chris Hogan and Christy Wright on board. She has spoken in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and she is going to light the stage up. So we got them coming. We got another mutual contact, Kyle Draper. And, you know, Kyle Draper, he loves what we're doing right now because he's all about social media. He's like, get on camera. Don't make it all polished. Just go and get the message out. So Draper is going to be there talking about being our authentic selves and walking into who we were meant to be online and offline. Man, Kyle Gabhart, I heard this guy speak this morning, actually. He's one of our keynotes. He was talking today, and he's going to be talking about at our summit about leaving a legacy. And he says a legacy is something you live, not something you leave. And it's something that you put in people, not give to people. It's in them. And so we're going to talk about leaving and living a great legacy. We got Dr. Zoe Shaw coming in from Los Angeles. She is a therapist out there in Los Angeles. There's some people out there who need therapy in Los Angeles. I'm just saying, you know, no offense to the California brothers and sisters, but, you know, we got Dr. Zoe. She is a therapist from a biblical worldview, and she talks about issues like complex shame and dealing with conflict in the workplace. Can't wait to hear what she's going to lay down. And then we got Dr. Craig Etheridge that's coming in. He has a global network. I mean, you talk about making the world a better place. I mean, this guy's in Africa, he's in Europe, he's in Asia, he's got connections up in Canada, and he is mobilizing a network to accomplish an incredible vision. And he's going to share how he's doing that and how you can do that with your own business or your own vision. So, man, just some fantastic speakers. Oh, and we got one more I forgot too. Judy Gammon. She's the CEO of Executive Medicine of Texas. She works with CEOs and executives on staying healthy and managing anxiety and not falling into pitfalls that busy leaders fall into so often. So, I mean, this leadership lineup that's going to be keynoting at Summit is going to be incredible.
I love this. And again, everybody go to improvergroup.com, improvergroup.com/summit. This is Ramon Ray here with Justin, host and producer of this and a leader in his own right. Justin, let's talk about this aspect of leadership again. Again, here we're celebrating the launch of the Improver Group Summit, improvergroup.com/summit. Talking to Justin, who's a business leader himself, investor, business owner, has sold businesses, authored, and many things like this. And I'd love to recap again, Justin, more about you. But based on my understanding, and it's talking to you earlier, and hey, Deanna, welcome, glad you're here, is that there's leadership for the traditional larger companies and training our staff and being a leader. But I believe, Justin, also these smaller businesses, you're running a $2 or $3 million business, maybe even a business that's a couple $100,000 in revenue. Talk about those two different types. And maybe they're the same, but I suspect there are some differences of, you know, running a multi-million-dollar company like Chick-fil-A and being a leader there where you have 5 reports, they have thousands of reports, versus Ramon, who's running a nice business, very highly profitable, but I still need to be a leader with my team of 5. How do those differ, and how are they the same, Justin?
Yeah, well, there are obviously some differences in the scale of that, but at the core of it, it's a lot of the same issues. I mean, look, if you're watching this live stream right now, I can tell you that your biggest problem is not your industry. It's not your product. It's not the competitors out there. It's not the market and the rates and the government. It's not that. Your biggest problem is my biggest problem, is Ramon's biggest problem. It's what's between our ears. That's our biggest challenge that we face every single day. And so whether you're a solopreneur, a one-person shop, or you have a small team, or you have a corporation with hundreds or thousands, at the end of the day, It's the things that are going on in our mind and in our heart that we're all struggling with. We're all dealing with a lot of the same doubts and fears and struggles. They may be packaged a little bit differently, but we are facing many of the same challenges. And so that's where there are some similarities in it, that a lot of our struggles are more internal than external. That being said, as you grow, you have to learn to rely on other people. And so the thing that these leaders of larger organizations and companies are facing is, how do you balance out the relationships, and how do you improve your communication skills, your relationship skills, the ability to execute, to align? Those things are vital skills of someone who has a large ship to steer. And so that's what we get into as we coach here at Improver Group. We say there's 5 different levels as you go from base camp to summit in your leadership journey. So based on where you are, you need different information that's going to help you there. This summit is going to be helping with both of those groups of people. So if you're an aspiring leader that just, you were made for more, or whether you're already multiplying leaders in your own right and leaving a legacy, this summit is for you.
One key word that I see here, Justin, is the keyword legacy. As we're talking about the Improver Groups Summit, improvergroup.com/summit. Deanna's on the ball. She's here saying hello to Justin. Thank you, Deanna, for being here. Deanna Cotton's amazing. But this word legacy, leave a thriving legacy. When I think of legacy, Justin, I'm thinking about our children, children's children, and or if we don't have children, just, who were left behind. Does it mean that? And or is there another definition that comes to mind for you? Talk to us about this keyword legacy as we're talking about the Improver Groups Summit coming up here in a few weeks. Improvergroup.com/summit. This is Ramon Ray talking to Justin, who's a leader in his own right of the Improver Group. Check that out. But the amazing summit coming up again, September 27th to 29th. Justin's talked about some amazing people being here. Jeremy here, Christy, Dr. Craig, Dr. Zoe, Justin himself, Kyle, and Judy, and Kyle. I said his name already. And others. So Justin, talk about this aspect of legacy. What does that mean in your definition, please?
Well, the way I think about legacy, it is that thing that you leave in people. But to me, it's a message. It is, how do people feel? What is the words when they think of you? What is the voice that is internalized with them? What kind of impact are you making on them? We've all heard it said that, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they won't forget how you made them feel. Well, to me, that's legacy. Like, how did you make them feel? And so sometimes when people pass away and they leave a financial gift to a library or a college or to their family, that they feel very honored with that financial gift. And so we call that a legacy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. The financial is just one way, but there's other ways that you can make people feel honored and make an impact on them. So however you're making an impact, that's how you're living and leaving a legacy.
I love that. That is powerful. And, I'm seeing it myself, Justin. At times people say, when I go, I want it to be like this. But I'm realizing more and more, and I've already done it, Justin, but, I'm 50. I'll be 51 this year, getting a little older, a little wiser. I want to live the life I want to live today. I don't want to just, I'm going to wait until me and Justin are on our walkers and creaking over, and, hey, Ramon, how are you? And his dentures are falling out, my dentures are falling out. No, I want to live the life I want by God's grace, live the life I want right now, whether it's travel or doing a lot of volunteer work in my church. In fact, Jeremy, my whole July and August, I was at a 2-week church convention. I was at a 1-week boys youth camp. I was at a Dallas youth revival, at a Toronto youth revival. I was doing a lot of volunteer work, but I was honored. And I haven't arrived. I'm not a man of great wealth, as it were. But you know what? I was blessed that we could do that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, Jeremy? I mean, Justin.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I do think that there is a fallacy where people just assume that the future is always there and that you can do it later. In fact, I had this recently, a couple of months ago, somebody said, man, why didn't you continue on in your financial, real estate, insurance, oil and gas, these other businesses you were in? Why didn't you continue in that, build more wealth, build more of a name for yourself, and then go into coaching people? You would have more experience under your belt. You would have more successes to tout. And they said, why didn't you wait till you were in your 50s or your 60s to do that? And one of the things I told them is, I'm a cancer survivor. In my 20s, I got diagnosed with cancer. And when you're in your early 20s and you're thinking about life and death at that time, you realize that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So once I went through 6 months of chemo and 6 weeks of radiation, I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait around on the future for my life to happen. I'm going to step into that now. If I've got a calling that's been put on my life, I'm going to step into that calling and not just hope that it can be there one day. So,
and that, listen, that gives you hope. And you know, Jeremy, I keep saying Jeremy, I guess the J, I don't know why, the ER.
it's the Jeremy Kubicek, probably. I got him put in your mind there.
Yeah,
so.
that's what it is. Yeah. Well, you can call me Raymond, even though my name is Ramon. So, but Justin, it's interesting. And thank you for sharing that, Justin, your why. And here's something I never told anybody till yesterday. And I didn't understand it fully. Again, as we're talking to Justin, who's the host and producer of the Improver Summit taking place in September 27th. I hope you all check that out as I'm scrolling on the screen here. Don't worry, people. I'll get to my story. I haven't forgotten. We have a number of amazing hosts. Lead a Thriving Legacy as I scroll through the amazing website, which is, I never did this before on StreamYard, Justin. I'm liking how this does it. Giving me ideas for some live coaching. Speaker lineups here. Jeremy and Christy Wright. Ramon is here. Dr. Craig, Dr. Zoe, Kyle, Judy, Justin, Kyle again is here. These are some of the top speakers, the best in class in their game. As when I say game in an honorable way, the game of life. We have different things you can learn there, the leadership mindset, meaningful connections, influence and impact, team culture, and more. So I definitely encourage you all to check this out. A full day that Justin and his team, not Jeremy, Justin and his team have put together. So I hope you all check this out and spread the word. Let people know, hey, there's an interesting event taking place in Dallas, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be
Dallas.
10 minutes from the airport.
10 minutes from the airport. So I hope you all check that out. But Justin, you just talked about you're being a cancer survivor. One of the reasons, as it were, for your why. And I just wanted to add, you know, for me, I was sharing something with somebody. They asked, Ramon, what do you want to do with your life, and et cetera. And I have a heart for the poor, the impoverished, underserved. I would just love to give them money, you know, or help them in some way. Money's not everything. And I said, I remember, Justin, I was in tears several years ago, crying, coming back from Pennsylvania, driving back to Brooklyn, living in an apartment there, a trash compactor across the hallway. I had to bang on the ceiling to tell the neighbors above to turn their music down. We'd spray for roaches and try to get them away, boric acid, that kind of life. Some people listening to us may if grown up that way or know what I'm talking about, you know. Yeah. And I would cry, and I'm like, today, there's people, Justin, who come to my house and see it as an oasis. And this is not about me, like, oh no, because I'm just a regular guy. But isn't it amazing how God blesses us, and the things that we have now, other people see it and we can bless them. So when you said legacy, somehow I just thought, and I have farther I want to go on my journey, Justin, for sure. Yes. I need to go farther, even talking about wealth building in this world that I want to do. But when I think of the blessings I've had today, I think we are doing the current legacy. Any of that makes sense when I'm clumsily trying to explain, Justin?
I mean, yes, it's kind of what we talked about earlier. You know, your legacy is your impact that you make on others. And some of that impact can happen after you're gone, but a lot of it can happen right now, today. And so, yeah, if you don't get anything else out of this time, it is that we need to just make an impact on others. And that is building our legacy.
Yeah, for sure. Justin, let's talk one more time about this event itself. We talked about, well, you know what? Before I do, let's get into, are you a leader? I want to serve the people on one thing we talked about. Go back to you and I full screen. Are you a leader? This is your life's work. Can you touch on this one more time? People are listening to us wondering, am I a leader? I don't think we dove into that enough, and that's my fault. I apologize. Right. But what is this? We talked about what does it mean to be a leader, but can you touch on this more, that people are wondering? And I think probably should have put, am I a good leader? Yeah. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be a leader? And what does it mean not to be, Justin? Let's talk about that a bit more.
Yeah, well, one of our favorite analogies to use with being a leader, and if you look over my shoulder here, there's this, I'm backwards. It's this, where are we at? They got the 100X leader book over my shoulder. So we talk about being a 100X leader, and the imagery is the imagery of a Sherpa. And if you don't know that Sherpa terminology, it is the people that are at Mount Everest who are born in that area, who learn from a very early age how to scale the mountain, but not only scale the mountain for themselves, they go and take people and train them and help them get up the mountain as well. And so if you really want a simple way of understanding what a leader is, it's someone who can scale incredible mountains, and not only scale it themselves, but can go and take others with them and help them up the journey. So 100X leader, the way we look at that is 100 means you're 100% healthy. Doesn't mean you're perfect in all of your health, but it means you're 100% healthy enough to make it up the mountain. X means you can multiply that into other people and train them to be the same way. And so that's what leaders do, is they go to places that other people typically can't go, and they take others along with them and show them how to get there. When they do that, the people with them feel incredible because of the accomplishment, but they also end up enjoying a greater view. And so that's what we're trying to do at Improver Group, is we want to take you to a place that you didn't know you could be. We want to help you reach heights you didn't know you could get there. And you're going to go, man, look what I did as a person. Look at how I got here. But you're also going to be looking out, and that's going to be awe-inspiring as well. And that's what we aim to do in our leadership here.
I've never heard explained that way before, Justin. A friend of mine, his name is Dre Baldwin. He said you can steal somebody's content, but you have to attribute it to them like the first 3 times. Then after that, you can just steal it. So I'm going to give that story 3 times. Every time I do it, I'm going to say, I got this from my buddy Justin with the Improver Group. But then when I do that, I may just own it. So that is, I love it. So,
well, you know what? I'm going to give the attribution to Jeremy Kubicek. He's the author of that book, 100X, and he's the one coming into our summit. So there's that.
I love it. But no, thank you. And I think this is a great question to ask ourselves. Are we a leader, which is about, yes, leading people, but I think training people and helping others lead others and taking them to a place they didn't know they can go. That is powerful, powerful. And the story I was going to share, Justin, oh, no, I shared that story already. That's right. I think I shared that story already about what I shared about me leaving a legacy. This is powerful. Justin, 1 or 2 questions. I'll ask you more, and feel free if there's something else you wanted to say and ask, feel free. But as I look here at this event as well, the Improver Groups Summit, improvergroup.com/summit. Talk to us about, I see here the things, the reasons people may want to come. What do these things mean to you? I think that's kind of it, where we can talk about why to attend an event like this. You got some stars coming. So 1, I know we're going to learn from the stage, but that's kind of easy. What else are reasons that we should come to the Improver Groups Summit, improvergroup.com/summit? Why should we come?
Sure. Well, you've heard the phrase before, I'm sure, that you're going to be the same person 10 years from now as you are today, except for do you know the rest of the phrase? Have you heard
your network?
Okay, close. So yeah, you're on it. So here's the old quote. You're going to be the same person 10 years from now as you are today, except for the books you read and the people you meet.
That's right.
Now, that was an old quote. I get the heart behind it. Well, we've tweaked it a little bit. And here's what we've said. You're going to be the same person 10 years from now as you are today, except for the content you absorb and the connections you make. So it's not just about reading a book or just about meeting people. It is about getting great content and making fantastic connections. So the bottom line, why should you come to Summit, is you're going to get incredible content from the stage, from the keynote speakers. You're going to hear other people say things in your conversations that light bulbs are going to go off in your mind. So that's going to be really good. But then the other thing's going to happen is in your heart, those connections that you're making, you're going to feel uplifted. You're going to go, you know what? I needed to hear that person winning. You're going to hear somebody else that's struggling. You're going to say, I needed to hear that person was struggling. I needed to know about that industry connection. That's going to take my business in a new way. So those connections you're making, the content you're absorbing, are really going to be transformational. At the end of the day, there are some people, maybe even listening to this live stream, that you are one piece of information or one person away from a completely different life and business. Like you just need, you've got that one blind spot or that one industry connection or that one referral partner that would absolutely change everything for you. And we believe we can offer that to you at our Improver Summit.
I love it. I can't wait to be there, Justin. I'm excited to be invited to go there and impart into the audience. I know a lot of work goes into events. So I encourage everybody hearing the sound of my voice, not only have you been here to learn the aspects of, are you a good leader with me and Justin? I had to put that up there so I could be a little fancy. Me and Justin. So we're talking about that today, but also really beyond that, are you a good leader? Here's, I think, the place that you can find out about leadership, legacy, and more. And as Justin already said, I'll share that screen again. As Justin already said, is really, this is the event where you can come and you're going to, it's produced by someone, you're seeing Justin right here, who cares and who wants people to come and who's curated. When you look at this, Kyle here, managing partner of Bluegrass, and you have Justin, who we're talking to right now. You have Judy, CEO, executive medicine, and you got Kyle Draper here, a social media expert. You got Dr. Zoe Shaw, licensed therapist. You got Dr. Craig, lead pastor of Cross Creek Church and more, talks about his version of leadership. And Jeremy, Wall Street Journal best-selling author, serial entrepreneur and more, co-founder of Giant Worldwide. You got Christy Wright, best-selling author as well. And you guys have a little guy here, Ramon Ray. So definitely,
Let me tell you something else fun about Jeremy, since we were talking about him earlier. He has lived in Moscow, in London, and all over the US, and he's had over 30 multi-million-dollar companies. Like, you want to talk about how do you grow a business? How do you live into different environments and adjust to what you need to do to win? I mean, look, the whole conference is worth it just to come and hear him, but you add all the rest of them, and it's just like, whoo, it's going to be awesome.
Well, hey, listen, you got a fan right here. Deanna Cotton said goosebumps, and Deanna's legit. So you may see Deanna. And Deanna, if we don't see you, please do share the word with your crew, Deanna, as well. Justin, anything you wanted to add before we close out today? And again, I'm just so glad you joined me. Thanks for inviting me, meeting you. And I can't wait to expand now even beyond the event itself, taking place in Dallas in the next few weeks. Sign up, improvergroup.com/summit, improvergroup.com/summit. I'll be there and many, many others. And not just the lineup on stage, it's the attendees that will be there and the connections you make. But Justin, leave us with another thought before we close.
Yeah. Well, one more thought about Summit, then I want to give a leadership closing comment here. So on Summit, just so you know the format, the Wednesday evening is going to be this amazing kickoff party. The swag that we're giving away, by the way, it's going to be awesome. We're not giving away cheap little, things. It's going to be incredible premium swag. The meals, the food, the drinks are going to be great. We've got some unique experiences lined up. All day Thursday is going to be learning, growing, connecting with others. And then the same thing on Friday. We're going to hear from an executive panel. So besides the people you saw on the speakers, we got people who are in the grind every single day are going to be on the stage. They're going to be sharing their experiences and having Q&A. Things like we have one guy from an oil and gas company who makes multi-million-dollar decisions every day in the energy sector. I mean, it's so volatile. So it's just the types of people we're bringing in are going to be wonderful. So that's my last comment on Summit. I can 100% guarantee you it's worth your time and financial investment, guaranteed. On the leadership closing thought, we talked about being a good leader, but that's a vague word. A great leader, that's a vague word. Let me actually give a piece of language here along with the 100X concept. The language is being a liberating leader. And so this is something a lot of people don't know about, but when you think about being a leader, you should be doing two main things. You should be supporting those you lead and challenging those you lead. And a liberating leader is high support and high challenge. If you're being very supportive, but you're not challenging your people, you're just protecting them, that creates a culture of entitlement and mistrust. On the other hand, if you're only challenging them and you're not supporting them, you're dominating them. That leads to a culture of fear and manipulation. But if you're a liberating leader, you're challenging and supportive, that is a culture of empowerment and opportunity. And that's the kind of leader that we want to help you become more of or get on the track to being a leader that empowers others, gives them opportunity. You support, you challenge, you help them to scale higher heights, and you help them unleash greatness.
Woo, we just needed some music up, music down, like a whole soundtrack. Again, everybody, this is my new friend, Justin, who's producing the Improver Summit in Dallas. I'll be there. Many, many others want to see you there. Whether you can come there or not, everybody can do this. Take your finger, as it were, click the share button on whatever version it is. Put a comment in here. We've heard some tips on leadership. We've heard comments on unleashing your greatness. We've heard comments just now on leaving a legacy. And I know this is so important. And Deanna's firing away. I mean, I needed all of that. Deanna, you're an amazing amplifier.
Thank you for your encouragement, Deanna. That's awesome. We love having feedback on there. Right. So in fact, I'm going to tell you a code. You can use it, but so can anybody else that's listening to this whole thing. Unleash 250 is a promo code that if you sign up, it'll knock $250 off of the registration. So Deanna, if you sign up, you just made $250 in a half an hour. That's a $500 average. This was worth your time, right?
Unleash 250 only here. Don't tell too many people about it. No, tell the world. Thank you so much, Justin. Good to have you here, brother, again. Improver Group, improvergroup.com/summit. My name is Ramon Ray, and this has been another, hey, we'll call it the Rundown with Ramon. I produce a lot of content. Get to know me better at RamonRay.com. Here hanging out with Justin. And Justin's peeps, by the way, hello to you. I know we're streaming on Justin's LinkedIn as well. Justin, be blessed. God bless you, brother. And I will see you soon as we end this stream.
Awesome.